Joining us at 7 o'clock, I'm Jordan Chavez.
And I'm Corey Rose. On top of the sun being out and 80s, it's Friday, TGIF. It's going to be such a nice weekend. Keely, close to 90 degrees on Sunday.
Yeah, and I want to point out, we do have clouds overhead, but it's not really gray, I would say.
It looked gray in that camera, though, didn't it?
Gloomy. That camera shot makes it look kind of gray and gloomy. It's a beautiful morning. We've got sunshine. Yes, we do have some clouds, a little bit of northwesterly flow bringing in the moisture in the forward clouds, but not bad. We're going to see plenty of sunshine, helping to warm temperatures into the low 80s by this afternoon. So again, we just have a few clouds, mostly sunny skies. Temperatures in the low to mid 50s at this hour. And again, 40s and 50s across the plains. We're looking at mainly 30s, 40s up in the high country, close to 60 degrees right now in Grand Junction. Live radar pretty quiet, although we still have this dense fog advisory. Again, mainly this is a monument south along I-25. So if you're heading south this morning, just be prepared to run into some fog and limited visibility. Visibility, though, much better as we take a look at our current visibility map. It was down in Lyman to less than a mile earlier, but much improvement. Your hour-by-hour forecast, a few more clouds in the picture. At 11, we reach the 70s. By 10 o'clock, we reach the 80s by about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So the warm-up, that tops our weather headlines for today. Showers and storms in the forecast for this afternoon after about 2:30, 3 o'clock this afternoon. And we're in store for a wetter pattern of weather starting on Monday. We'll talk more about that, what we can expect in our extended forecast coming up in a bit.
Keely, thank you. It is 7:03, and we want to get you started with a live look from Sky 9 over Highway 36 and I-25 this morning. Overpasses, ramps moving nicely, as well as the highway and interstate. Let's go ahead and bring you over to our CDOT cameras this morning. CDOT just flipped the camera around. I was showing you a crash, so it's still happening on the left-hand side of the interstate, just on the other side of this camera at Yosemite Street and southbound 225 this morning. It has been causing delays. Right now, eastbound side of 270 and York Street, we're just kind of dealing with that general morning volume that we see at this hour. Let's take you over to our map right now. I also have a crash we're dealing with in North Glen, just off of I-25. It's a reported rollover crash on westbound 104th Avenue, just west of I-25 this morning. And again, westbound lanes are closed right now on 104th Avenue. So if you take that main thoroughfare through the North Glen stretch, something to keep in mind that is an inconvenience. 12-minute slowdown on southbound 225 because of that crash up ahead at Yosemite Street. So we're slow till about Iliff this morning. And as far as your westbound I-70 drive goes, we're dealing with about a 10-minute delay for your drive between E470 and 76.
All right, Erica, thank you. This morning, a Colorado man will spend 3 years in prison after being found guilty of threatening Colorado and Arizona election officials, including Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold. Last October, Teek Brockbank admitted in federal court that he posted a series of threatening messages on social media in 2021, calling for the death of election officials, even threatening to shoot a judge. Those threats were flagged by the Justice Department's Election Threats Task Force. Brockbank claims that he was brainwashed by online conspiracy theories at the time. He was sentenced to 37 months of confinement, followed by 3 years of supervised release.
New this morning, there is a new lawsuit accusing a Colorado Springs police officer for using excessive force and then lying about key evidence in a 2023 DUI arrest. According to our partners at KRDO, the lawsuit claims Officer Gregory Campbell threw Jessica Howling to the ground and pepper sprayed her, all while she was handcuffed, and asking for a female officer to conduct a search. It also claims Campbell lied about witnessing blood samples being taken, something court footage appears to contradict. A judge flagged the credibility concerns directly to CSPD's police chief, but attorneys say the department and the DA's office did nothing. Howling's attorneys are pushing to have Campbell be added to the Brady list, which tracks an officer's misconduct, and mark the violations on his post-certification. CSPD has declined to comment, with the lawsuit citing an ongoing litigation.
Today, unionized workers at several Safeway and Albertsons across Colorado could approve a strike. Voting will begin at stores from Boulder to Pueblo to the Western Slope. The union says that they have been bargaining for 8 months now, but Safeway still has not addressed low wage increases and understaffing issues. Voting will last through next Wednesday.
New this morning, President Trump nominated Paul Ingracia to head the U.S. Office of Special Counsel. Trump made the announcement on social media yesterday. He is currently serving as the White House liaison for Homeland Security. Ingracia was there for the release of prisoners convicted of crimes during the January 6th 6 attack on the Capitol. He is also a former far-right podcast host and election denier. If confirmed by the Senate, Ingracia would replace Hampton Dellinger, who was fired by Trump. The Office of Special Counsel investigates worker complaints from across the federal civil service.
A federal appeals court has cleared the way for President Donald Trump's tariffs to move forward, reversing a ruling from just a day earlier that had blocked them. The Court of International Trade tried to pump the brakes, but the appeals court said that the president has the authority to impose tariffs under emergency powers he declared earlier this year. Still, it's not a done deal. The court is now asking both sides, the government and those challenging the tariffs, to submit written arguments on whether they should be blocked long term. Those are due early next month.
North Korea has sent thousands of soldiers and at least 100 ballistic missiles to Russia in the last year. That's according to a new report by an international watchdog group. In addition, the report found that the city of Pyongyang also sent Moscow as many as 9 million rounds of artillery and ammunition in 2024. That includes rocket launchers, vehicles, self-propelled guns, and other types of heavy artillery. In return, Russia provided North Korea with valuable weaponry and technology, including air defense equipment, anti-craft missiles, electronic warfare systems, and refined oil. The report said Moscow has also provided feedback on their ballistic missiles, helping improve its missile guidance performance. The report alleges both countries are violating the UN arms embargo and are transferring arms and military equipment through actors and networks that evade sanctions.
An Israeli official says that the country has agreed to a new U.S.-backed plan, which is a 60-day ceasefire with Hamas. The deal would include the release of 10 living hostages and the remains of 18 others. But Hamas says the proposal still does not meet their demands, like a full permanent end to the war. They also want all humanitarian aid to flow through UN channels and for Israeli forces to pull back to where they were before the latest military push.